How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Feel free to follow us on Snapchat if you're interested in the content or engaging in the conversation. All that being said, today we are talking about Verge. So when it comes to cryptocurrency, I'm very much paying attention to Asia. I'm paying attention to these parts of the world where record amounts of people are going to be connecting to the internet in the next couple of years. More people all around the world getting smartphones, and the interconnected nature of this global community that's building, and the fact that Verge currently is in the news and expanding into Asia really does make sense. And there really is a significant place in the future for privacy coins because, of course, there's a high demand for privacy. I think that that's something that everybody can agree on. So the way that Verge has been strategically positioning themselves lately, it's no surprise. See, if I can't imagine a cryptocurrency and how it's actually going to be making the world a better place, then it doesn't really catch my interest. But Verge, on the other hand, they very much do seem to have an idea of where the future is going as far as the demand that's going to be in place for privacy technologies. And right now, we are currently seeing Verge leading the way as far as the community that's built around the privacy coin. And ultimately, I think that privacy is going to be a huge, significant conversation, especially with what we've been seeing in the news happening with the conversations surrounding tech companies like Facebook and all the problems they've been facing. At the very sole issue is privacy right now, and I think that that's something that the public is becoming to be more and more aware of, and really Verge stands to capitalize on this growing frontier. And I've been following Verge for quite some time now. It is one of the more interesting cryptocurrencies to date. In particular, what we've been seeing lately involving the cryptocurrency space in totality, in particular what's happening involving Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin, it's a rocky road. There's ups and there's downs, and there's days when people are thinking that it's going to be Lambo season, and then there's big disappointments. And of course, there's also days like today with just mild agitation in the form of these corrections. Of course, red all the way across the board. Many cryptos in the pushing 7% at in many cases much worse, in many cases much better. I mean, the cryptos that have been hit the hardest by this can be seen. And of course, there's also always going to be cryptos that are flourishing in this market. And of course, one of the fundamental reasons why we've been talking about Verge. Of course, earlier today we were seeing Verge as the #1 spot. Currently, they've been overtaken by Binance Coin, and it's the typical ecosystem of the cryptocurrency correction. And you could really see all the basic symptoms. I mean, Bitcoin dominance up as far as 48.1%. On average lately with these recent trends. And of course, seeing Bitcoin dominance rising does have people believing that Bitcoin is doing well. But then again, of course, really these international variables are coming together, and cryptocurrency definitely does have that volatility aspect of it. Let's not kid ourselves here. And ultimately, I mean, it's don't sleep on Asia. I guess that's the theme of this video, because really it's a significant part of the world as far as the way that we are witnessing. Asia is ready to take over, essentially, as far as cryptocurrency and the fact that the world's so interconnected to a large degree. It's really interesting to see how privacy technologies and cryptocurrency and the interconnected nature of it all really is benefiting these people all around the world, who essentially now being through connecting to the internet have access to a whole new legacy of opportunity and so forth. And there is opportunity all over the place now with this new paradigm, because we really are witnessing cryptocurrency going through an interesting point here, as far as the fact goes that cryptocurrency isn't of itself a huge paradigm shift. It's been said that what's happening with cryptocurrency right now is on par with the invention of the internet, and you can imagine how big that was. But another lesson to take away from that whole thing is think about how people essentially responded when they were told that something was going to be so big as the internet. It was unimaginable. And just think about how much has changed just in the past 5 years alone. It's really quite amazing to think about all the future that cryptocurrency is going to unlock, simply because these new technologies are going to be leveraging so much just very, very advanced ways of approaching these things. And ultimately, privacy is going to be a huge variable. I mean, we've talked about before how right now one of the fundamental things that the United States dollar has going for it is the fact that the whole privacy element is ultimately working in its favor. I know people criticize cryptocurrency for that very same issue. The whole nature of digital currency really does bring about that talking point, and anybody who makes that point really does have a pretty valid point to make. And ultimately, I think that Verge really does have a good idea of that point and how they can leverage that sort of demand for privacy in a really interesting way. So I think seeing all these things happening, in particular, when we see cryptocurrencies taking a hit and people are panicking, they are also taking into consideration privacy and these different things, and all these things definitely coming together. Now, not everybody likes to see the market cap where it is at 275, but then again, you also have to remember these are still these days are good. I mean, volatility is good. I mean, it might not be good for everybody all the time, but without the volatility, cryptocurrency wouldn't be the space that we know it as. And sooner or later, when the space develops and we see more levels of the symptoms of mass adoption, then of course regulations, it's a double-edged sword. So it is important, just enjoy it while it is the way that it is today, because it might be different tomorrow. And that's a lesson that my ex-wife taught me. Yeah, but all that being said, I mean, you guys, I mean, just looking at what's happening involving crypto, it is interesting to see the conversation that's happening, and the fact that cryptocurrency has so much potential, you guys, and we do have a lot of potential, in as far as these things go. And I think Verge is rearing its head. I mean, it does take a lot of performance capabilities to have this success. I mean, any coin can have success in a bear, have a success in a bull market, but it takes it takes some chops to have success in a bear market, or whatever you want to call it, that's happening right now. And right now, only 4 cryptos are in the green at the time of making this video, and Verge is among them. And certainly it's going to be a long road for all the cryptocurrencies, but I am certainly interested in seeing where Verge is going to be taking us in the next few steps that we see, as far as this sort of development has been taking place. And we've been seeing a lot of different news items regarding Verge, as far as how it's been expanding into Asia. And this is really going to be a significant variable that's going to be building on multiple different fronts, especially with a lot of these different things happening in Asia, and the fact that there is a hardworking team that's been putting forth Verge. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this technology is going to be manifesting itself and working within the real world, and having that realistic interaction with the different things. But all that being said, you guys, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. This is all just my opinion, of course, regarding these things. And of course, I encourage you to do your own research and come to your own conclusions about these things, because in the world of cryptocurrency, things can flip on a dime, and you always want to be up to date, seeing all these different things, and being in the know when it comes to how these various different things have been implementing themselves. But in my personal opinion, I definitely do see a future in store for Verge. I think that it is well within Verge's possibility to be among the top 10 cryptos within a short time period. I mean, currently we're in the year of 2018, but soon to come, it's going to be 2020, and every single year, more people are connecting to the internet with smartphones and so forth. And it's only a matter of time before mass adoption takes place. And before that, we're going to be seeing some Lamborghini season, I'm telling you. And so all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this content. I hope you found it useful information. And if you guys want to continue in the conversation, you could, of course, always connect with us on Twitter. Link provided in the description, of course. And all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Have a good one.